Okay, here we are again. So last time I ended the night on an error again, and it was the cores error once again. So my proxy server was, first it was going slow, and then it just crashed. And I do not like the idea of that happening again. So I made my own proxy server. It's my very own, and I deployed it to Heroku, and it works. Um, so that's something I did before this stream, and I have a little .env here that has my very own proxy server. So you can see in the URL here, I have my proxy, and I put my key in there as well, even though, you saw it in the other videos, but best practice is to have those things hidden away somewhere. And so that's the homework that I did before this one. So hopefully it'll keep working. And if you're interested, this is how I did it. There's this open source GitHub repo that someone made. Mr. Switch, whoever that is, Andrew Dodson. And I just cloned it, and I mean there were a few little things I had to do and deploy it to Heroku, but it works really well. So if you ever run into the same problem and you need it, this is a really good resource for that. So, FYI. Okay, so now, just to demonstrate that it works, let's do this. Let's refresh, because there's no character showing until I search, right? Let's just open up the inspector here. So I click this, and then if there's character info, then it reveals itself. So it works, it's great, hasn't crashed yet. So we're good to go. And once again, I'm using Supergirl as my test subject because there are other characters that we're gonna have to deal with some edge cases for them. But in the meantime, one thing I wanna do is move this button. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is move this button into the search component, because that's where it's gonna be anyway. So that's what I'm gonna start with. Let's see here. So all I need to do for this, let's get the search component here. Oh, another thing I did as homework was I actually got the Prettier extension working. I've installed it before, but I didn't look into it closely enough to actually get it working, and it actually is wonderful. So for example, if I make something not pretty and kind of ugly, like this is all in the same row or something, and like this is going off the screen here. Let's just make it unpretty. And then I click save. Look at that, automatically, woohoo! And it's really not that hard to set up, so recommended for every developer ever. So the search bar, so all I have to do is take this button, first of all, pass this function down as props, so get character to the search bar component equals get character. Okay, so that component can use it. And then this button, I'm just going to cut and paste here. But I need to import button here as well. And I cut it out of here, so that's good, which means I'm not using a button. Oh no, what's the error here? Get character is not, oh, of course, because I didn't put it in. This is what happens when I do things live, is I kind of rush a little bit, but that's okay. Just breathing and taking it slow. If you're ever doing a live coding at an interview or something, breathing, taking it slow, and thinking about things is very good. Just take your time. And you don't have to talk the whole time. Like, I feel the need to just talk the whole time while I'm live streaming. It's kind of like being on the radio and not wanting radio silence. But, it's not even a real pressure because you can actually see what I'm doing and stuff too. So, all right, let's see what happened. Ba-bum! I mean, it still doesn't look good. But at least it's not like way over here and what's it even doing kind of thing. And the reason it's side by side is because I have them in a single row. See? I have them in a single row. So if I want them in different rows, then that's what I gotta do. Which means that this row can't be the enclosing div, or whatever you want to say. There needs to be just one parent div. So if I want to have more rows, then I'm going to have to put, I can just put a react fragment here, which is basically just a non-div, like a pretend div. Oh, I don't even have to do... See, I'm so used to just trying to make it pretty myself, but prettier is going to save a lot of time from now on. I have to learn to be more lazy is the problem. Hello, welcome. Okay, so if I want to do this, I can do another row here. I'll just do... No, wait, I'm not even going to do that, because you know what? In the end, what I'm going to have is an input here. I'm going to have an input, and they are going to be side by side. I think that's how I want it, just side by side. Yeah. So I'm not even going to do that. Forget it. That's what happens when you don't plan things out, is you start changing things you don't need to change. But watch this. Haha, it fixed itself. Okay. So I moved the button. That was a good first step. The next thing I want to do is start displaying some basic character info in my character card here, because this is where I have the character info. This is where I'm console logging it, so I know it's there. So let's take a look at the character info and see what we want to display here. So what I want is the name. So there's name, Supergirl. So I'll just put that in. Sounds good. Yeah, and what? Well, let's just do a paragraph for now. It's so funny because in React Native, you just have text. It's just text. You don't have H1, H2, H3, H4, paragraph, all these things. It's just text. And then you style it how you want it. So that's what that pause was, like, wait a minute, I have to decide what I want it to be. I'll just make it a paragraph for now, no problem, can change it later. So name is going to be, and why did it go crazy there? Oh well, it'll fix itself. It's going to be character info dot name. So let's start with that, make sure it's doing what it needs to do. Oh, I gotta search for it. Yay, that looks terrible, but that's okay. I just wanted to display for now, okay? And we'll fix it later. But now I want character. What else do I want? I want the real name. So biography full name is what I want, okay? Dot full name. Why is it underlined? Oh, okay. Whoa. Yeah, this is kind of weird. This is very weird because it's got a hyphen here. Oh, so I know what I'm going to do. Instead of dot notation, I'll use bracket notation. I think that'll do it. Oh, no. I forgot my end bracket. Whatever. Ugh, it's doing a minus sign. So how do you deal with something that has a hyphen, if it's named with a hyphen? Destructure character name props from character name. I'm trying to figure out why this is, how to do this when it has okay, let's go back to the pre-error state here. Now here's the problem, is that full name has a hyphen in it. So how do you do that, guys? How do you do if the name has a hyphen in it and that's not it's doing an error here. I mean, if I make it a string, won't that... I know, it's doing full minus name. So I need to make it a string. Would that work? But in bracket notation, right? So if it's a string in bracket notation, that should work. I can't use dot notation with a string. But maybe with bracket notation I can. Now where did it go? Biography, full name. Okay, there it is. Character info, biography. Let's see what happens if I make it a string. See, I'm learning things already. Guys, I've been learning so much from doing this. Seriously, just the fear of looking like I have no idea what I'm doing is a great motivator. I don't know if I'm succeeding, but it's definitely motivating. There we go. So now I know if you have a object key that has a hyphen in it, you need to make it a string in bracket notation. So now I know. Learned something new. Okay. This is good. Now this looks too terrible. Let's do something else with this, okay? Now I'm going to want an image over here. You can't see what my hands are doing. I'm going to want an image over here and these things to display over here. On large screens, that is. On small screens, I'm going to want them side by side, which can be done with the rows and columns thing. So let's just make, so I'm going to have one row, the card is going to be one row, and it's going to have two columns, one for the image and one for the information. So let's just do that right now. So it's in one row. I'm going to do two columns. Oops. I have to import column here. Okay, now this guy can go in the first one as a placeholder for the image. And then the next column can be here. Okay. Boop, boop. There we go. It's like playing a video game. You have to have the sound effects too. Alright, so let's see what that does. Yay, I have two columns. Woohoo! They're not centered. I need to like center them. Well, no, I don't want to center them. I just want to center the left one, and then I think the right one I do want to be aligned on the left. Actually, the whole card, I don't want to take up the full width, actually. So I want to say how much space I want the columns to take up. Don't want to do this right now. Don't want to style right now. I usually save styling for later, like after I get the app functional, or it's a nice break from all the logic, like when my brain just starts dying because of all the logic and stuff. Then styling is a nice break because it's just, you know, kind of playing around and tweaking things. So I'm going to keep going. I have a little bit of information displayed here. Oh, wait. Full name, secret identity. That's what it should be called. Secret identity. There we go. So dramatic. I love it. And then I'm not going to even have that for whatever. But anyway, I'm stalling. So the search bar. Now, we've just been using one hard-coded character for now. If we do a search bar, then we are going to set the character name to whatever we put on our search bar. And this is going to take a lot of logic, a lot of different edge cases to consider. If we go to Postman again, let's go to Postman again. Boop. For example, so for example, Wonder Woman, right? so I have the API here, and I do wonder, all the spaces need to be converted to underdashes. So that's going to be a regular expression I need to write. Is like, if, if there's a space, make it an underdash. Another thing, and then here we go, and there's Wonder Woman. Another thing we discovered was that there's multiple characters. Oh, actually, okay, so for example, Batman was one we looked at, right? And there's Batman Terry McGinnis. So, but then the next one is Batman Bruce Wayne, and then the next one is Batman 2, Dick Grayson. Oh, I see, because he becomes Nightwing or whatever. Ooh, excuse me. Whew. Oh yeah, and see, now this isn't even an exact match. It has Batman 2. And I discovered that when I was playing around too, I searched for Thor, and watch this. This is crazy. Oh, well, when I tried this before, the first one that showed up was, oh, look at that, Thor girl. Interesting. Oh, it didn't do it this time. Oh yeah, here we go. Yes, it did. The first one, look at that. Lex Luthor was the first result. So I'm going to have to do, I think a regular expression for that would be good too, to make sure that it's an exact match, and not, actually, let me write this down, okay? I need to put all these edge cases. So a space needs to become an underdash. Everything needs to be in lowercase. I don't want it to be case sensitive. And I want it to be an exact match. Okay, and now, like in the last one, this one? No, not this one. Where's the last one I did? But like Batman. Oh, that was a different one I did. Ugh, now I'm getting all lost. Not this one. Oh, here it is. It's not in order for some reason. Okay, so like Batman, for example, it'll be an exact match for Batman and Batman, right? So I'm gonna have a modal pop up saying, do you want Batman Bruce Wayne, or do you want Batman Terry McGinnis? And then they'll select which one, and then that will set the state then after they select that. So that's just a if the results are greater than 1, then do this. Anyway, so let's do it. Let's put an input in the search bar. Input. Let me look at React Bootstrap here as a refresher once again. Oh, I get to decide whether to show or hide a comment if you use naughty language. I guess I'll show it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the API, I agree. This API is not it could use some work. It could use some work. But we're gonna do what we can with it, I mean, as a front-end engineer, like, I can make some requests to the back-end engineers, like, can you change this? But sometimes it's not that easy, and sometimes they have higher priorities, and sometimes et cetera, et cetera. So I guess unless it's really vital, there's a lot that I can do just on the front end to get around stuff like this. Components. I am looking at input group. Nope, I'm looking at forms. Oh yeah, forms. There we go. It's gonna be, a form, a tiny little form, but this is what I want. I want a little thing on top, a little placeholder, and then this, I'm gonna make it red, and it's only gonna appear if there's a, if there's an error, or like if the character doesn't exist. So that's what I'm going to do. So I need form, and it's a form group, and then you have the label, form control. It's not going to be that. What do you pass as type if, maybe you don't even pass type if it's not a specific type. And then placeholder, and then form text. Okay, so why don't I just copy this guy and adapt it to my own purposes, and import form, and this also needs to have form. Is this really gonna work? It looks so ugly, but oh, I need the button in there too. Button. There's gonna be part of the form. Okay, so this is extremely ugly. Let's see if what happens if I save. It's pretty. Yes. Oh man. Okay, so this is not type email. And it's gonna say search for a hero or exclamation point. I don't think I even need a thing on top here if I have a placeholder. Oh, unless I want the example here. That's what I want. Okay. So this is going to be up here. There we go. And then this is going to say e.g. Superman. Sure, why not? Text muted, whatever. This will be an error message. Yay. And, oh, did I put, now let me look at the buttons here. The button is inside the form, not in a form group. I need to put type submit, yep. All right. Great. So now I have my thing. I don't need this thing here anymore. Bye-bye. Because now it's starting to look like, it needs to look a little bit more. It's kind of better. It's kind of better. Yeah, it's nice. This will be an error message. That's nice. Yeah. Let's see. So nothing is happening on submit because there's nothing in the form. I'm not submitting anything. Now I'm going to have a little bit of local state here just to say what's in the input. Okay. So for that, I'm going to get use state. And it's going to be input set input use state, and it starts as an empty string. Okay. Placeholder. Now wait a minute. I know I've used this before. So it needs to be value. Form control should have value, right? I mean, it's not in the example, but that's okay. It should be value. We'll see if it should be value. Okay. Okay, value should be input, and on change, I'm just doing this by memory, guys. Just doing this from memory. Just like all those fancy tutorial coders, except they have to look stuff up a lot less than I do, unless they just edit that part out. I don't know. Okay, so on change, we're going to say input yeah, this is really embarrassing, but I'm just remembering how to do this stuff here, apparently. You know what I do sometimes? Oh, it's in this opposite screen here. Where do I have this? My school front. Okay. I suppose I could show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at one of my old projects because I guess I could look at my GitHub repo instead. But I just apparently need a little refresher because, once again, I haven't done web development, React for the web for, I don't know, has it been several months now? I guess it's been several months now. Handle change, set user info, user target value. Oh, see, ugh, this is not what I want. Did I use React Bootstrap for this? I did, yeah. Type email, name, value, email, placeholder, on change. Oh, right, on change, yep. I forgot about that one. Is handle change. So I have handle change and handle submit. This is just a refresher for me, guys. Man. How is it done in React Native? Well, yeah, the components are different. So like the form, like anyway, I don't have to go into that, but yeah, something's definitely different because it's not ringing a bell. But handle submit, handle change, and I have to say on change in the form group. That makes sense. Okay. Just, take it easy, Martha. You're doing okay. Sometimes a little self-encouragement is necessary. Right, because when it changes, I need to do on change. I know I called it on change up there, but that's because I was remembering my past life. Okay. Yeah. It's always good. I mean, it's nice to be able to look at your past code sometimes and just remind yourself, oh yeah, I did this. Yeah, I know how to do this. I really do. I don't know why I did set show. I don't really like that naming. Oh, wait a minute. Except this is for the modal. That's right. Because I'm setting whether I need to set the show for the modal or not. I remember. But this was a long time ago. When did I make this app? This was back in January. Is it August already? My goodness. Okay. Okay, so handle change. I'm still just looking at this, guys. Apparently I need a refresher on forms too. So crazy. Like the most I've done is like a login form, and this should be even simpler than a login form. So I honestly don't know why I'm having trouble with this. This is kind of funny. Maybe it's because I'm drinking wine. Okay, and this might be the situation where how I said when my brain starts to die, I go to do some styling instead. And I did also say that I was going to limit myself to 30 minutes tonight. It just seems so short, doesn't it? Like 30 minutes when I'm just working algorithms seems really long. Like, you can do a lot of algorithms in 30 minutes unless you get really stuck. But when you're working on a project, time just flies by. And you're like, oh, is it time to stop already? I can do this for a few more hours, you know? But anyway, so apparently I need to do just a little refresher on forms. Like, look at the difference between forms in React Native and forms in React for the web. Because off the top of my head, I can't think of how they're different. Let's see. React Native. Let's just look at this quick here, just for. Oh wait, that's not what I want. Go back. I've been using Expo for my React Native apps. It just makes things a lot easier. Yeah, how did I do that? Look at all these components. Just so many. Yeah, so that is going to be my assignment for tomorrow night. I feel really good about what I did today. Like, a lot of it was off the screen, creating my own proxy server, which, as we see, works much better than the one I was trying to use yesterday. Much better. So, it made it pretty for me again. And setting up prettier was very nice too. And we've made some progress, a little bit of progress. We started with passing down props to, that's not gonna work right now. Started making some progress, making it look a little nicer, etc. So, yeah, thank you guys for coming again tonight. And I'm going to learn a lot with this. I mean, my goal is to get up to I'd like to be a senior developer within the next couple of years here. That's kind of my goal. And I can see how this is going to help me a lot, because it's challenging me to, what it's doing is it's exposing my weak areas, you know? So like, for example, forms, like, until tonight, I didn't even realize it was my weak area because I just did it, or I used passcode or whatever. So that's good to identify, because forms are very important. And then I learned a lot about servers and how servers work, and CORS errors, etc., by trying to solve this problem. So yeah, this is good. And I hope you guys are getting something out of it too. Definitely. I mean, I'm getting a lot out of it. Hope you guys are getting something out of it. So